There is a growing number of lawmakers, Republicans and Republicans calling for the impeachment. Democrats are saying they're confused about the drop in Title 42. Dan Crenshaw, Republican from Texas, here with us now. Sir, good morning to you. Want to show our viewers now, per day now, call for one, guys. You got about 7,100 migrants apprehended per day. If you get rid of Title 42 in 1 month, you're going to see 18,000 per day. It's an extraordinary number. Axios reports that DHS and Mayorkas will report that they can hold 18,000 non-citizens in CBD custody starting on May 23rd. Fine and good for 1 day, sir.
No, I mean, look, obviously that's a non-starter, and Mayorkas is going to have to come up with a reckoning within himself. Is he going to stand up to the administration and say, look, I have to do my job. You asked me to be Department of Homeland Security Secretary, and I need to do my job or I'll resign. He's going to either have to do that or he will face impeachment by Republicans. We want to give him the chance to do what's right. Now, in response to the upsurge that they expect from removing Title 42, Mayorkas has released this 20-page plan. But look, it's just a plan that basically restates the law. That says, look, you can't be here if you're here illegally. We're going to expedite your removal. You could just look at U.S. code if you really want that guidance. The problem is execution, and we have no indication that they're actually going to execute the law properly and quickly in order to deal with this surge. They can't whitewash this anymore either. And the American people, their eyes are wide open to it. They're sick of it. This polls as one of the #1 issues for Americans right now. And I don't know why Democrats can't just do what is politically popular and secure the border. Everybody wants it, so just do it.
It's interesting that was your reaction about their plan when they announced it, because right before the 5, I was reading through their transcript of their background briefing, and I was like, wait, how can the plan be to enforce the law? But that was available to them at any time. The other thing they said that they would do is have a summit, and we know that is usually very, very productive. I kid. Media coverage, I'm curious about this. So Bill Malugin and other reporters like Brian Yennis is there for us today. They've been there consistently every day. We are showing images just as they come. This is what's happening on the border. It wasn't until House Republicans were on the border this week that other media finally showed up. They haven't been there since September. And do you think that's also having a problem, causing a problem for just Americans, one, getting to know what's happening on the border, but also that the Democrats are basically having this false sense that it's not a big deal?
Well, of course, liberal media will always try to whitewash this, always try to pretend like, oh, look, it's those Republicans, they're overreacting again, they're pouncing as they do. But look, it's actually not completely true that the news media hasn't been there. Last week, I saw a very, very disturbing story, and it was by NBC. But it wasn't about how we should secure the border. It was this. They framed the story this way. Ukrainians that are coming to the border are being let in too quickly, and now that's racist because the Mexican migrants waiting there are not being let in, as if there's some equivalence between the asylum claims between a Mexican citizen and a Ukrainian citizen. And these reporters were actually making that claim on NBC News. So it's actually even worse than ignoring it, Dana. It's much worse than that. They're actually creating a different narrative that even letting Ukrainians in over Mexican citizens is somehow racist. And it just sends the wrong message.
We've always wondered why the media doesn't care about this story. Last point here. DHS says they've got a plan to target criminal gangs and organizations and human smugglers. Okay, but that only is successful if you get cooperation with the Mexican government. Is that happening?
Yeah, and that's definitely a key point. That was the key thing that the Trump administration did. Look, the Trump administration tried a lot of avenues as well. The immigration bill failed in Congress. So what did they do? They set up the MPP program, the Migrant Protection Protocols, which means you have to go wait in Mexico for your asylum claim. You claim you have asylum, fine, we'll have a safe place for you in Mexico. Now, most people don't have a real claim to asylum. And coming from the South, especially the Northern Triangle countries, only about 13% of those claims end up being adjudicated in a positive manner, saying, you know what, we do believe you have asylum. So that leaves quite a delta as far as proper claims versus improper claims. So you have to cooperate with Mexico. They want to cooperate with us. You've got to look for that leverage. And by the way, the Northern Triangle countries want to cooperate as well. I think the Mexican government generally does. They don't like empowering their drug cartels. They don't like giant caravans coming through their country. They will cooperate with us if we give them incentives, if we use the leverage we have. Look, if the Trump administration could do it, this administration can easily do it. But there is a refusal to do it because they don't want the border secured.
Well, that hearing happening in just